everyone, it's Christian from The Gamer, and in this Arc Raiders video, we'll be going over the best methods to complete the trophy display project as efficiently as possible. We'll also be detailing which items you'll need to turn in, best places to find them, as well as cover rewards for turning each step in. Most importantly, however, we'll also be talking about why you should be waiting to finish this project until after the upcoming Raider expedition. Finally, if you have any other tips, suggestions, or best practices that you feel I missed in this video, then please feel free to drop down a comment below. We'll be hearting each of those messages. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Like many of Arc Raiders' previous projects, the trophy display is split up into 5 separate pages, each with their own required items growing in difficulty. Unlike the other projects, however, the trophy display does not have a time limit for when you can complete it. This means you can gather and turn in items as quickly or as slowly as you want. Now, for many people, this project gave them something to do to hold them over until the season ended, and that's totally valid. However, the trophy display project actually has some pretty great rewards given the respective difficulty for turning in required items. Things like vita sprays, vita shot blueprints, kinetic converters, anvil splitters, wolfpacks, and even a bobcat 4. All of these are insanely good items every raider wants in their inventory. So, with the Raider expedition right around the corner, I saw little utility in completing the expedition just to have my inventory wiped as soon as I was finished with the project. And with no time limit, I figured it'd be best practice to save it for after wipe. This way I'd both cash in the XP from farming Arc from completing the project, as well as build up my inventory with high value items as early as possible. For this reason, if you have not completed your trophy display project, I highly recommend waiting until after the season's wipe. Alright, for stage 1 of the project, here are the items you'll need. 3 rusted bolts, 15 pop triggers, 15 tick pods, and 5 surveyor vaults. The rewards for turning in these items are 10 mod components, 3 power rods, 10 raider tokens, and the blueprints for light gun parts. The best place to find rusted bolts are going to be in mechanical and industrial areas. Our most time-efficient place to loot for these rusted bolts is the loading bay of Stella Montis. Here, you'll find lots of shipping containers in both the top floor and the middle floor that have green drawers that you can search through. I've had significant more luck finding rusted bolts here than any other POI in the game. Just be careful of the nearby bastion and other PvP players. For pop triggers, you'll have 2 different options. For those who are brave, you could do a night raid on Stella Montis, specifically Assembly and Assembly Workshop, as there are usually a ton of pops that roam around this area. Your other option is to load into Buried City. Hospital, library, and parking garage house a lot of pops, and is usually less hot than Assembly in Stella Montis. Once you're done with your farming route, you can head to the nearby Metro Extraction nearby. Usually there's a couple pops here too. For those tick pods, by far the best map to farm these is Stella Montis. Specifically, the Cultural Archive and the Seed Vault should get you enough in just a single raid, if not, damn near close. Surveyor Vaults, on the other hand, are going to be a lot more tricky and even a little bit annoying. The maps that I've seen Surveyor Vaults spawn more consistently in is both Blue Gate and Buried City. Simply look up for the blue light in the sky to locate any nearby surveyor. Best practice to kill these is to stun it with either a showstopper grenade or hornet driver, then blast it with any heavy ammo gun. Now let's move on to stage 2. The items you'll need to turn in are 10 spotter relays, 3 expired respirators, 20 wasp drivers, and 15 hornet drivers. The rewards for turning in these items are 3 vita sprays, 3 photoelectric cloaks, 20 raider tokens, and a vita shot blueprint. Out of all of these, the expired respirator can be the most annoying as it requires quite a bit of RNG. To track this item down, we have 2 separate maps in mind. For those looking for a safer option, Hospital on Buried City is a great place to go hunting for the respirator. Focus the drawers and cabinets in the top floors to locate it. For those who are trying to be more efficient, then medical research in Stella Montis is going to be your best bet, as this POI houses some of the best loot in the game. Just be careful as this is extremely hot for PvP as well as PvE with the roaming shredders. Now, we say the respirator can be annoying, but spotter relays can be just as tough, since bombardier spawns aren't always guaranteed. Best practice to consistently get a bombardier spawn is going to be in Buried City, as one can spawn in either Murano Park or the southern station by Plaza Rosa. From here, post up a couple of meters away, then draw aggro of these spotters to pull them away from the bombardier. Then either take them out with a heavy ammo weapon or toss secret grenades as to not draw aggro of other nearby arc. Last, Hornet and Wasp drivers can actually be done in the same raid. Our suggestion is to load into Spaceport during a hidden bunker event. Then head to the rooftop of the control tower if you have the control tower key. If you've seen our guides for farming any of the flying arc, then you'll know exactly what we're doing here. Our first step is to draw snitch aggro with any long-range weapon. Then let them spawn in the wasps and hornets that they call in. About half the flying arc that you take out should fall back onto the roof. You'll be able to loot drivers as you go. Then leave just before the 5-minute timer and search any of the destroyed arc around the control tower building. Next, let's move on to stage 3 of the project. The items you'll need to turn in for this step are 10 arc performance steel, 5 shredder gyros, 10 leaper pulse units, and 5 bastion cells. Your rewards for turning in these items are 1 kinetic converter, 3 anvil splitters, 30 raider tokens, and a shotgun silencer blueprint. Now, getting the arc performance steel can be done in 2 ways. Both are efficient, however, but in different regards. The first is by looting the barren husks on either dam or spaceport. You'll want to keep an eye out for synthetic resin, as you'll need this for the next stage of the project as well. Additionally, if you do this during an electromagnetic storm event, you can search the fallen arc probes for more performance steel and synthetic resin. Your second option is by killing larger arc. Since you'll need to kill bastions, you can double up on bastion cells as well as performance steel and synthetic resin by going this route. This will be a faster way to complete this stage, but obviously a lot more dangerous and less cost efficient. And since we're talking about bastions, then let's talk bastion cells. The best map to do this on is Buried City. Now, Trailblazers used to be the meta, as 2 or 3 of these could either extremely weaken it or destroy it altogether, but since they've been nerfed, there's a couple of options that might be best practice. It's up to you to do which one you prefer. Now, deadlines are obviously going to be the fastest way to take these out, but it's best to save these for the queens and matriarchs you'll need to destroy later on in the project. In that case, the quickest way to destroy a bastion is by throwing wolfpacks and secret grenades to weaken the bastion. Then follow up by shooting some heavy ammo at the joints to quickly take it out. However, this is not a cost-efficient way to take out a bastion. The other way is to load in with a light ammo gun like a Stitcher with about 300 to 400 rounds. In one of the latest patches, the bastion now has a weak spot on the top of its armor. While it does take some time to completely destroy it, Stitchers and light ammo are extremely cheap to craft, meaning you can take out one pretty efficiently without wasting a ton of resources. Next up are the Leaper Pulse units. Our favorite place to farm these is going to be Dam Battlegrounds. Our suggestion for the safest option to take out Leapers is to post up on top of the testing annex. From here, you can easily draw aggro of the Leapers that spawn down at the Red Lake, as well as the one that roams just below Research and Administration. Since the respawn rate of these is pretty fast, doing this strategy is a great way to farm a bunch of Leaper cells in a single raid. And last is the Shredder Gyros. For this item, you'll want to load into Stella Montis. Assuming you're doing this solo, the best practice to take these out efficiently is to toss secret grenades, snap blasts, or showstoppers. Your other option is to stun them with a showstopper, then shoot them with a heavy ammo weapon right at their thrusters. However, for my money, trios I think is both actually time and cost efficient. This is because 3 people shooting the thrusters of a shredder takes them out incredibly fast. And since shredders are extremely abundant in Stella Montis, you'll easily be able to farm between 10 to 15 shredders in just one lobby very quickly, all without using up a bunch of your precious resources. Alright, now let's move on to stage 4. In this step, you'll need to turn in 10 arc synthetic resin, 10 magnetic accelerators, 8 Rocketeer drivers, and 3 Queen reactors. Your rewards in this stage are a Bobcat 4, 5 Wolfpacks, 40 Raider tokens, and a Bobcat blueprint. For that synthetic resin, don't forget to save it during the previous stage while you're either searching barren husks or destroying large arc. This will make completing this step immediate. For those magnetic accelerators, If you have a level 3 refiner, you can actually craft these with 2 advanced mechanical components and 2 arc motion cores. However, I think the most efficient way to farm these is actually by looting them in Stellamontes. You can check out our previous guide on best practices to find Exodus material in Stellamontes, but for the purposes of this video, then all you need to know is to head straight to Assembly and Assembly Workshop, as there's a ton of Exodus material here. Note that if you find any Exodus modules and any Geiger counters, you'll want to hang on to these, as these are items required to turn in the last stage of the project. Next, let's talk Rocketeers. Our favorite place to farm these is going to be in Blue Gate during the Locked Gate event. You'll want to head to Pilgrim's Peak and zipline up the tower. There are always 2 Rocketeers here that spawn near the lake, which you can immediately take out, then use any long-range weapons to draw aggro of distant Rocketeers. The last step here are the Queen reactors, which can be a bit of a pain. You'll want to load into any Harvester event in order to hunt down the Queen. If you've turned in those magnetic accelerators, then you can turn around and use the wolfpacks you were rewarded to help kill the Queen as fast as possible. The other method we quite like is the deadline and snap hook method. While this one can be extremely dangerous and is best done with a team, you can snap hook to the top of the Queen. Then place one deadline to reveal its weak spot. Then jump back down, get to cover, and heal. Rinse and repeat until the Queen is down. And finally, let's talk the last stage of the project. At this step, you'll need to turn in 5 Exodus modules, 3 Geiger counters, 8 Bombardier cells, and 3 Matriarch reactors. The rewards for turning in these items are 2 snap hooks, 1 Aphelion, 50 Raider tokens, and 1 snap hook blueprint. For those Exodus modules and Geiger counters, hopefully you've saved them during the previous stage. However, if you're still missing a few, then head back into Stellamontes and farm them at Assembly. You'll definitely want to turn these in first in order to get the snap hook, which will make completing the Matriarch a lot faster. And speaking of Matriarch, our most efficient way to get those reactors is by rinsing and repeating the snap hook and deadline method we did for the Queen. 4 to 5 deadlines should be enough to kill the Matriarch. And last are the Bombardier cells. If you're doing this solo, then I recommend going back into Buried City. Then toss some wolfpacks and secret grenades to weaken the Bombardier. Then use any heavy ammo gun to take out the joints and take out the Bombardier. However, our most time and cost efficient method is to farm them across several raids as a squad. Hole crackers and various grenades takes them out fairly quickly if you and your team toss them out at once. You can then split the loot from the Bombardier and hatch out, rinse and repeat to farm these without wasting a bunch of your resources. The rewards for finishing the trophy display project is the Howl emote, 1 Jupiter, 5 energy clips, an acoustic guitar, and 300,000 coins. While this may take some time to complete, being as efficient as possible early on will ensure you not only level up quickly and earn precious skill points, but builds up a decent stash in the early stages of your new raider. Again, if you have any suggestions or tips for what skills you think are best, then please feel free to drop those down below in the comments. Good luck, Topside Raider. We'll see you in the next one.